continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are live from Merrilat Sport and Fitness Center, and welcome to another exciting day of Adrian College men's volleyball. I'm Forrest Vernier alongside Dion Clark, and the Bulldogs are going to close out their regular season with a showdown against the Calvin Knights. Not only it's the final match of the season, but it's also senior day, making it a special day here at Merrilat.
Yeah, no, today will be a great day. We have a great fixture from Adrian and Calvin today. Some people to look out for today. You know, from Calvin's side, so far they have an 8-15 record. Gabriel Laughlin, most kills with 166 and 208.5 points, averaging 2.18 kills per set for us.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's a lot of points for in a single season, and also for the Bulldogs, they come in at 5-17. They've had a 3-game losing streak, but we've talked about how before. But they're about this game is going to be about the Bulldogs trying to learn from those losses.
Exactly. Within every loss, there's always some learning to do. And today, let's hopefully see if Adrian can learn from those mistakes. You know, and from the side of the defense, from Calvin, Parker Steele with 173 digs, averaging 2.14 digs per set. That is going to be something that's going to be hard for Adrian to get around. But on the flip side, Adrian, we have Beck Fieldhouse with 190 kills and 2.44 kills per set. He is definitely going to be keeping those kills up today. And then Roland Macklin with 178 digs and 2.51 digs per set.
Yeah, both teams are looking to finish this one strong. In fact, their most recent victories came against Olivet, with Adrian sweeping the Comets 3-0 back on March 5th, while Calvin, they snapped a 3-game losing streak against Olivet as well, as the Knights ended with 8-15. The Bulldogs sit 5-15, but Adrian, they found a little more comfort here at home this season, posting a 3-5 record here in this gym.
You know, that will definitely be something big to have on Adrian's side. Always having home court advantage is going to be a big thing, especially if they can get the momentum and the chemistry up. That will definitely help them lead for a win against Calvin today.
Well, Dion, it's definitely going to be fun calling this game with you, and I believe it's the first time that we've ever been.
It's first time, but it's great to be up here, being able to watch these Bulldogs play. It is always an honor to be able to watch the Bulldogs play every day. Yeah, no. And, you know, some other people to look out for today in Adrian comes from Sam Landers. Sam Landers also has 188 kills, averaging a 2.44 kills per second, or kills per set, excuse me. It seems like Adrian's offense today is going to be a big thing. What do you think would be, you know, the best way for Calvin to probably deal with that?
Well, I think, Dion, what both teams are definitely going to look forward, what they're going to want to work on is they'll want to be able to get the ball over the net, but they do not want to hit it too hard, because I've seen it happen where, especially on the serves, because last night the Bulldogs lost to the Trine University Thunder in 4 sets, 3-1. One of the things that they struggled with was they had at least 10 or 11 service errors, because they hit the ball, but they hit it too hard, where it gets over on the side where the other team has to be aware like, hey, this ball's going too far. We're not going to want to go for it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Making sure they can follow up on these errors, making sure they don't have as many would be a great thing, because giving unnecessary points is horrible, and that is a big momentum breaker. We want to make sure that Adrian can constantly figure out these errors, make sure the communication's up, make sure the momentum's up, and make sure the chemistry is there, especially for a night like tonight. You do not want to falter. And then from the side of Calvin, their statistics are really high too. Another person to look out for, actually two people to look out for today, with 113 kills, is going to be Bright Broekhuizen, 113 kills, averaging a 1.61 kills per set, and also Brady Gadakis.
Well, thank you very much, Dion. So we're going to take a step aside for a quick break, but we'll be right back for more Bulldog Volleyball here at Marilat.
Bulldog fans, welcome to the home of Adrian College Athletics. Brought to you by Adrian College Television. Follow us on social media to be connected to the latest broadcasts, news, highlights, and more. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. ACTV's social media handle is at Adrian College TV on all platforms. Thank you to all of our fans who tune in to support us at ACTV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm Audrey Evans here with ACTV and, of course, Adrian College Men's Volleyball. Here playing Kelvin University. But most importantly, it's senior night here on the court. Throughout our season, in the past 4 years, Adrian's men's volleyball has showed 4 major key points to the game, starting off with a strong offense performance. Consistently performing opponents in kill, attack attempts, and often attack percentage, demonstrating a potent offensive attack. Secondly, strong offense performance. Records a significant number of our service aces, showing a consistent ability to generate points directly from serves. And what goes strong with serves is a strong disciplined blocking. Disciplined blocking, fewer blocks eras in multiple seasons, points in better discipline and execution in the game. Adrian's men's volleyball has shown great demonstration of strong offensive performance, disciplined blocking, and service. And today we celebrate 3 seniors that have shown all of the above. Starting off with Mika Lowe, jersey number 1, standing at 6 foot on the right side position. Secondly, Zach Molnar, jersey number 4, standing at 6'2", right side and outside hitter. And thirdly, Beck Fieldhouse, jersey number 12, standing at 6'1" and an outside hitter. I'm Audrey Evans with ACTV. Back to you, Forrest and Dion.
Well, Dion, this is an absolute wholesome. Well, Dion, this is such a wholesome moment for our 3 seniors, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Forrest, I know you're a senior yourself, and I bet this is something that you definitely feel a lot just watching this.
Yeah, Dion, it's going to be a little challenge for me. I'll be trying my best not to get emotional up here in the booth. I mean, we've still got a little bit of more school left to go.
Of course.
But, knowing these 3 very, very talented players, but also knowing them as very hardworking and dedicating students, to Adrian College. This is definitely wonderful to see their journey here from freshman all the way to what could be their final regular season home game.
Exactly. You know, these are the points that many people will look at and remember, you know. As much as you'll remember those big moments, you know, those great kills, amazing blocks, amazing digs that you had, these moments where we're commemorating these players and, you know, celebrating them for not only doing great as a player but also doing great as a student, these are the moments that you work for. These are the moments that you push for, and these are the moments that you always want to remember.
So this is Micah Lowe. He's being walked onto the court.
Number 1, Michael Lowe, great player, great guy.
As he gets a picture taken with his mother and
Coach Soto. This is always a great thing, you know. It's just beautiful. Seeing all the parents, seeing all the fans, everybody coming out to support, students and parents alike. It's always great to be able to see this because, you know, here at Adrian College, you know, you're kind of like a family, smaller school, but, you know, everybody always comes out to support. You know, everybody always just wants to see the Bulldogs winning, the Bulldogs doing the great things that they always do.
And to our 3 seniors, Micah Lowe, Beck Fieldhouse, and Zach Molnar. We would like to congratulate them on outstanding careers for the Bulldogs, and we wish them the best of luck for their future and what career paths that they choose to take when they get their degree at the end of the semester.
Exactly. You know, it'll definitely be a sad sight seeing some of these players leave, but, you know, it also will help bring out the future because then it'll, you know, you look into the future and see who will be the next big greats for our team, who will be the next big seniors for our team, you know. These guys are leading by example every day, and, you know, they're showing greatness all the time, leading this team on and off the court, being great role models.
So we're going to take a step aside and let the seniors have their moment, but we'll be right back to talk about starting lineups after this.
10 years ago, Adrian College Television set out on a mission to bring the excitement, the passion, and the unforgettable moments of Bulldog athletics to fans everywhere. From the field to the court, from nail-biting finishes to championship victories, ACTV has been there to capture it all.
Yeah, Jordan Spear, happy birthday, buddy. I'm sure.
This year, we celebrate a decade of dedication, 10 years of innovation, teamwork, and delivering the energy of Adrian College straight to your screen. Here's to the next chapter of ACTVB, because at Adrian College, the story is just beginning.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth, introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time that you will always look back on as special years, never experienced before you arrive today, and never replicated after you graduate.
Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
And we are back. Forrest Vernier and Deion Clark here in the booth for ACTV at Maryland Sport and Fitness Center as the Bulldogs will be taking on the Calvin Knights in the finale of this regular season of Adrian College Volleyball. And so starting off for the Calvin University Knights, we have Jake Davidson, the sophomore from Lowell, Michigan. We have Gabe Loughlin, the senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Also, we have Giovanni Serafini, the freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Also, we have Brady Godowskis, the sophomore from Naperville, Illinois. Cameron Dogger, the sophomore from Holland, Michigan. And Nick Boltke, standing at 6'7", a sophomore from Bryant Center, Michigan. As both teams meet each other at the net, greeting each other with respect. And starting off for the Bulldogs, we have Preston Talsma, the sophomore from Romeoville, Illinois. Zach Molnar, the senior from Hebron, Indiana. Andrew Graysick, who helped the Bulldogs with a lot of assists in last night's match against Trine. He's a sophomore from Orland Park, Illinois. And Sam Landers with 188 kills and who leads the Bulldogs with 221.5 points. He is a sophomore from Waikoloa, Hawaii. And Beck Fieldhouse, another one of our seniors with 190 kills, 213 overall points. The senior from Louisville, Kentucky. And Roland Macklin, who has done pretty well this season. He has 178
Exactly,
digs.
yeah. That's definitely going to be something that Calvin are going to have to look out for. Maybe trying to throw or hit, to the side of Macklin, trying to make sure, he's just constantly off kilter, off center, making sure he can't get there to those balls to get those digs.
Yeah, and back in February, Macklin, he was also named the MCVL Defensive Player of the Week. Because of, not just how many digs he has, but also how he gets to them, and because you'll definitely see how he gets to them. And we also have Carson Bell, the junior from Hudsonville, Michigan, and Nathan Webster. So Macklin comes onto the court, giving his teammates high fives, wishing everybody good luck. Beck Fieldhouse getting support from his teammates. So Calvin University will get the ball first here in this first set. It'll be Cameron Dogger. So here's the first serve, and here we go. Landers with the dig. Graysick sets it up. Webster trying to get the kill, but instead it comes back in.
Beautiful block from the side of Calvin. Immediately up, right there in the face of Adrian.
So it's 1-0 in favor of the Calvin University Knights. As Dogger will serve it again. Now here's Sam Landers with the one-handed dig. Now Grayson getting over the net. There's the set. As Macklin, you can see him already trying to get it up. So now that was number 9 for the Calvin Knights, Loughlin.
You know, that was a great job by the Bulldogs, being the dogs they are, constantly fighting for that ball, keeping it up, keeping it alive.
That's over the net. Here comes Graysick to make the set. Zach Molnar, and another block for the for the Knights. They lead 3-0.
Yeah, you know, these blocks by Calvin, it's kind of like a wall, just steel walls, kind of like a steel cage, caging in these Bulldogs. If they want to get a chance to get a point, they need to take their time.
And that'll be 4-0. As the referee, now Dion, if you see the referees do that, it shows that if the ball touches the hand before it touches the floor, then the team who served it in will get the point.
Yeah, giving a Calvin the 4-0 lead.
There's the set from Graysick. Fieldhouse, Beck Fieldhouse gets the first point for the Bulldogs.
Exactly. Just like I stated earlier, Adrian needs to take their time. They need to get one good set to make sure the tempo is slowed down, to give them a chance to get one good spike to get a good kill.
And now Graysick will be serving it for the Bulldogs. There's the set. And that's Loughlin trying to get it over. The Bulldogs still have it. The Bulldogs cut the lead in half. It is 4-2 Knights. Andrew Graysick will be making his second consecutive serve. Bulldogs still have the ball here. And so if they want to catch up and take the lead, they're going to want to have it as much as they can. There's the set as number 15, Serafini, gets it over the net. As just like that, the Knights have the ball back as they lead 5-2 in this first set.
Yeah, no, this is going Calvin have a chance to really build some momentum. If they want a chance to get some more points, they need to keep the Bulldogs moving.
So that was set back in by Serafini. And there's a nice dig there from Dogger. Wow, that was a nice play by Graysick.
Beautiful joust.
Also a great block by Webster. Hits the net. Now Dion also, remember, if the ball makes direct contact with the net, the other team will get the point.
Exactly.
So the Bulldogs get their third. So here is Zach Molnar, who will be making the serve. Here it is. And there's the dig from the Knights. Set up by Dogger. And it gets by Macklin.
A beautiful, beautiful spike from the side of Calvin. Perfectly placed to the left side of Macklin. He was not ready for it. Had to dive. Was not able to get that dig up.
So here's Giovanni Serafini, one of the freshmen from the Calvin Knights. He'll be making the serve with a 6-3 lead. There's the dig from Beck Fieldhouse. Graysick setting up for Beck Fieldhouse to get another point for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, man, look, these sets, Adrian is doing really good when they're able to slow down the tempo. If Calvin want to get a point, they want to keep it up, but Adrian needs to slow it down. They need one good set to slow the tempo, to give them a chance to find the perfect spot on the side of the court.
And I mean, you know the saying, get a good pace, but don't be too quick.
Exactly. You know, being too quick can cause mistakes, and we want to make sure Adrian can minimize the amount of mistakes they have today.
So now making the serve is Ezekiel Jalen. He's making his first appearance in this game. As Graysick gets the set, Sam Landers trying to get the point, but it's dug back up.
And a miscommunication from the side of Calvin. That ball, received really weirdly, and it was miscommunicated on who was going to come and grab that. Calls for the ball to go really shallow, and nobody knew who was going to be able to get it.
So now here's Landers. He played well last night's game against Trine. And there's the set from Steele. Macklin, you can see him dig it up. Molnar waits for it, makes the set. Fieldhouse now going for the kill, but it's blocked in by Jake Davidson. So point number 8 will go in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, Adrian and Calvin, they are both doing really good at playing their game. Calvin playing fast, playing aggressive. Adrian slowing down the tempo, playing their game.
That was a nice serve by Jake Davidson. Now here's Graysick setting it up for Zach Molnar. That point will go for the Bulldogs.
Wow, beautiful back set. Beautiful back set, point to the Bulldogs. This is going to be good.
So now it's up to Beck Fieldhouse to get the Bulldogs just a few more points here to give them a lead possibly. Now here's the set over the net. There's a dig from Macklin. There's a set from Graysick. Molnar going for the kill. As Steele kind of lost his grip on it, but the Knights recovered. Graysick now setting up for Carson Bell to make it a 1-point game. It's the 7th for the Bulldogs.
Now this is where things get fun. Adrian down by 1 point. They need one more to tie it up, and this is where the pressure gets in.
Beck Fieldhouse tosses it up, and he makes the serve, and it's dug up by Godowskis. And Landers, that one's going to go way into the bleachers.
Wow. That one's going to go super far. Amazing power from the side of Calvin. A good serve from Fieldhouse at the beginning, but Calvin were able to get it up and get it right back over that net.
So here's Nick Boltke. He makes a serve. Molnar digs it up. Graysick setting it, make it go over the net. And there's the set. And that one went too far. Now you can see the flag going up there, Dion. That means that the team that hit it in, they hit it too far. So that means the Bulldogs get their 8th point.
Yes. Cutting the lead to 1 for Calvin.
So here is Carson Bell, the junior from Hudsonville, Michigan. He makes the serve, and that one goes too far, so it'll be 10-8 in this first set for the Calvin Knights. So now Carson Bell will be on the sidelines as Landers will come back in and take over for him. Making the serve now is Cameron Dogger, the sophomore from Holland, Michigan. Trying to extend this lead for the Knights. Macklin makes the dig, the set from Graysick. Here comes Zach Molnar and gets the kill.
Molnar, amazing. Getting all these kills. The amount of power he's been able to produce today has been immaculate.
Once again, it is a 1-point game. The Bulldogs have the ball. Andrew Graysick. But that one hits the net as did not have enough momentum on the serve.
Just a little shallow.
So that'll be now that's called a service error when it hits the net.
Yes.
So here's Brady Godowskis. He makes a serve for the Knights.
And another service error. Hopefully this doesn't start to be a plague on either team for the rest of this game.
So Zach Molnar now will be making the serve for Adrian College. So one of our graduating seniors. And it goes too far, and another service error. So it's a 12-10 game. So Giovanni Serafini, he will be making the serve for the Calvin Knights with a 12-10 lead in this first set. And he gets it over the net. Great awareness shown. The point will go to the Knights as Beck Fieldhouse looked like he thought it was going out, but it just landed in the zone.
Yeah, just a little inside. Those are those ones where you have to take a gamble on it. Have to go for it. see if it's in, see if it's not.
Serafini makes a serve, and it hits the net. So I believe that's the second service error on the Calvin Knights. And now serving it will be Nathan Webster, the freshman from Frankfort, Illinois. So it's 13-11 in this first set for the Knights. As there's the set. As Jake Davidson.
The power from Davidson was immense. Adrian wasn't even able to get a good hit on it. It went straight into the bleachers after getting contact.
But the point will go to the Bulldogs because it went too far to the side. So
wow.
It's 13-12. Now here's the set over the net.
And just a little outside of the court, the point's going to go to the Bulldogs.
So this first set is tied. 13-13. So Nathan Webster making his first serve, trying to give the Bulldogs their first lead. That's over the net, and it's blocked in by Landers. Bulldogs take their first lead.
You know, that was, I apologize, but that was beautiful. That was beautiful by Calvin. They tried to get a quick tip, but Adrian, quick to get up, quick with these blocks. Beautiful by Adrian.
Well, just like that, we're tied up again on the service error by Webster. So that's the third service error of this first set for the Bulldogs, as Jalen now makes a serve, and as the Bulldogs take a 15-14 lead, that'll be a service error on Ezekiel Jalen. So now here is Sam Landers. This is a big opportunity for the Bulldogs to get those insurance points. There's a set, couple of good sets, and Davidson getting it in. Macklin with the dig, Andrew Graysick. Zach Molnar sets it up going over the net. Another set, Jake Davidson. Great awareness shown from Sam Landers as he saw the ball was going too far to the left.
Immediately called for nobody to go grab it. Let it go outside. Let Adrian get another easy point.
Landers now making another serve. There's a set from Parker Steele. As that one goes in by Bryce Brookhuizen. 16-15 Bulldogs. So that's Brookhuizen's first kill, assisted by Ezekiel Jalen. That one goes over the net on Davidson. Molnar with an outstanding dig. Reached down as low as he could. But now Steele setting it over. Point will go to the Bulldogs. They lead 17-15.
Now this is where Adrian can start to mount a lead. They can start building the momentum. You can see the celebrations on the side of Adrian. They are happy. They are ready. They can start pulling away from Calvin here. How can Calvin stop them?
Beck Fieldhouse hits it too far as the Knights get their 16th. And when the Knights got their 15th point, that was on an attack error by Steele. And the service error was just made by Beck Fieldhouse. There's a set from Graysick. Zach Molnar trying to get the point, and Zach Molnar makes it 18-16.
Molnar has been great today. And again, those sets that calm the tempo down, let the spikers see the ball how they want and get a perfect kill.
Now here's Carson Bell, who will be making the serve. That one went over really fast, Dion, but it lands in the out zone, so it's 19-16 Bulldogs.
Yeah, no, there is no way Calvin could probably receive that one. And with that, a timeout's going to be called from the side of Calvin.
So the Bulldogs have a good start. They lead 19-16 here in this first set. And And so we're going to step aside for a quick timeout, but we'll be right back for more Bulldog volleyball right after these messages.
Bulldog fans, welcome to the home of Adrian College Athletics. Brought to you by Adrian College Television. Follow us on social media to be connected to the latest broadcasts, news, highlights, and more. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. ACTV's social media handle is at Adrian College TV on all platforms. Thank you to all of our fans who tune in to support us at ACTV.
Good start here for the Bulldogs. They lead 19-16. Now, earlier when the first set started, the Knights got ahead and they were leading 4-0, but the Bulldogs started to catch up. They tied it up, and the Knights got back ahead a little bit, but the Bulldogs somehow they're finding that they're starting to find that strength. They're being aware of their defense, and so they're about 6 points away from taking this first set.
Yeah, exactly. Adrian were able to find their footing, slow the tempo down, and be able to keep this game on their side.
So there's a set. As Beck Fieldhouse makes the dig, Zach Molnar will set up. Carson Bell with the one-handed play. A nice dig there by Steele. Davidson getting it over the net. That point will go to the Bulldogs. I mean, you could see Carson Bell, he tried to make the dig, but I guess missing the play may have been a blessing in disguise as the ball.
Exactly.
As it went out. So now Bell will make the serve. Bulldogs lead 20-16. He makes the serve. There's a dig by Steele. And another dig. The Knights. And that one falls right in front of Serafini. Bulldogs get their 21st.
Yeah, that was a big point by the side of Adrian. Calvin were unable to keep it alive. Will Bell be able to shut Calvin out?
Tosses it up, and he makes his serve.
And, of course, the caster jinx. Calvin have a chance to start mounting a comeback. You know, I really feel like Calvin needs to keep moving fast, trying to make sure Adrian cannot keep their tempo. You know, try to make them play their game.
So here's Cameron Dogger. He makes the serve as it gets by Macklin, but it lands too far to the left. Bulldogs get their 22nd.
Amazing eye by Macklin. Immediately knew that it was going outside, and he dove away, kind of like the Matrix.
So here's Graysick. Now there's a set by Godowskis. As the Knights struggling to dig it up, but it lands onto the floor. Bulldogs are 2 points away from taking this first set, Dion.
Yes, no, that was a beautiful joust by the side of Adrian, being able to quickly, put away Calvin. And we're going to be going to a break. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
And we are back here at Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. I'm Forrest Veneer.
I'm Deion Clark. Welcome back. You know, so far we've had an amazing match so far. A great first set, starting off with Calvin immediately trying to make a statement, but then Adrian quickly fighting back. And now Adrian, off of a couple of service errors, a couple of good eyes, they have started to mount a lead.
So Andrew Graysick will try to We'll try to help the Bulldogs get a couple more points to take this first set. He gets ready. He makes the serve. There's the dig by Jake Davidson. Now they'll come back to dig it up. Now here's Sam Landers trying to get the point. A nice play by Parker Steele. There's the set by Nathan Webster, and Landers helps him out, and the Bulldogs have their 24th point. They just need one more to take this first set, Dion.
Yeah, no. You know, at the beginning of that rally, you got a slight communication error from Calvin. It seems like they're off kilter. Adrian can end it now.
And so Calvin and Macklin trying to go in for the dig, but Landers made the play. Molnar gets it in on the one-handed play, and it's dug back up. And it hits the net. And the Knights get their 18th.
Yeah, no, that's a good point from the side of Calvin, but they're not out of the water yet. They have to keep fighting. They cannot mess up here.
So here's Brady Godowskis. He'll be making the serve for the Knights. It's over the net. There's a dig from Fieldhouse. Grayson setting up for Zach Molnar, the one-hand play, and it's blocked by Davidson and Serafini. But wait just a minute. Actually, the Bulldogs, that's their 25th point, as there may have been.
I think the Calvin blockers put their arms too far over, causing a point. But that's going to be an amazing point. A great finish for the first set. Adrian 25, Calvin 18.
Yeah, that'll do it for the first set as the Bulldogs win 25-18 as we go to the second set. But before we cut to break, we would like to give you a special reminder for those of you watching at home to stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we've got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. And if you're watching on YouTube, click on the red button, the one that says subscribe, and tap the bell. That way you'll be notified 30 minutes before we start a stream. So we're going to cut to a commercial break, but we'll be right back for the second set. Bulldogs win the first one, 25-18. Dion Clark and Forrest Vernier here at Maryland Sport and Fitness Center.
To become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus visit.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
And we are back. The second set is just about ready to get going here as the Bulldogs won the first set 25-18, so they have a 1-0 lead in this match. And the Bulldogs had overall 10 kills. The Calvin Knights with 7. The Knights struggle with the attack errors. They had 9. Bulldogs had 3. Total attacks, the Knights, they did pretty well at that with 27, Bulldogs with 23. And the Bulldogs, they finished with the .304 hitting percentage. The Knights have a negative .074. Bulldogs with 10 assists. The Knights with 7. 3 service errors from the Knights. Service aces from the Knights, 2 from the Bulldogs. But here we go in this second set as Roland Macklin makes the dig. There's a set. Landers trying to get the first point for the Bulldogs. And
again, those communication errors showing up on Calvin's side. You know, too many people trying to figure out who's going to go first, who's not going to go. You stated, the errors on the side of Calvin. 9. If they want to start mounting some points, they're going to have to figure those out.
Now there's the set. They're getting it over the net. There's a set from Graysick. Beck Fieldhouse. And that one was blocked. It's a 1-1 tie in the second set. And back in the first set, Zach Molnar had the most total attacks with 11. And he had 5.5 points, leading the Bulldogs. And Molnar also had the most kills with 5. And now making the serve will be Dogger. And that was an outstanding dig from Parker Steele. And it's blocked in by Landers, but the Knights still hanging on to it. There's a dig from Landers. There's a set from Graysick. Zach Molnar gets it over the net. There's the dig from Graysick. Roland Macklin with the set. Now Molnar trying to get the point. As the Knights, you can see them trying to block it in, but it just went over their fingertips. So the Bulldogs have a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, no. Frustration on the side of Calvin. Again, another communication error. They could have gotten it, but there's a communication error in calling out who's going to get this ball.
Now Zach Molnar, who had the most kills in the first set, makes a good serve as Gabe Loughlin gets point number 2. Loughlin back in the first set had 3 kills, 1 error, but 7 total attacks. Davidson had 7 total attacks. That's over the net on a great serve from the Knights. Beck Fieldhouse could not get the contact that he wanted as the Knights lead 3-2. So now making the serve will be Brady Godauskas.
Godauskas has been pretty solid for the serves today. See if he can get another.
There's a set from Graysick. Landers trying to get the kill. Sam Landers has done it again. We are tied at 3.
And that was just a beautiful kill by Landers. Putting it in between both of the Calvin players, forcing them to collide. Either one could not get a good hit on that ball, getting it up and to keep Calvin in.
So making the serve for the Bulldogs will be Maxim Gutierrez, who's making his first appearance in this game. But his first serve, that'll end up as a service error, as now the Knights have the lead 4-3. Making the serve will be Giovanni Serafini. As Roland Macklin subs back in for Gutierrez. There's the dig from Molnar. Graysick setting it up for Beck Fieldhouse. And it's blocked by Boltke.
Yeah, no, I think if Calvin really want to start gaining some points, I think they need to be playing fast, but they also have to keep these blocks up. That's how they got their first couple of points at the beginning of the first set. So if they want to try to keep racking up points, I think being able to get these triple blocks, these double blocks, to be able to shut out the Bulldogs would be an amazing thing.
So the Knights have the ball. Serafini will be making another serve. As Molnar digs it up, Graysick setting it up for Sam Landers, and this time it'll go to the Bulldogs. It is their 4th, so it is a 1-point game. So now Adrian College trying to get back in control of this match as Sam Landers will be making the serve. Taking his time with the ball, but he gets it over. There's the set. Macklin with the dig, scoops it up. Molnar getting it back in. It's on the Knights side. And Molnar has to hurry, but the ball lands right in front of him. It's 6-4 Knights.
Amazing hustle from the side of Adrian. They did not want that ball to fall. And I think that's going to be a major key factor for them if they want to keep in this game. Playing like actual dogs, keeping that ball up, making sure it could never go down, always hustling for each one.
That's over the net on the serve by Jalen. Knights struggling to get contact with it, but it hits the net.
And a beautiful joust from Gizak. that was amazing power from him, being able to push it back over to the side of Calvin.
So now here's Beck Fieldhouse, one of our graduating seniors. Tosses it up. He makes the serve. There's the dig from Parker Steele as Jalen sets it up for Boldkey. Graysick now setting it up for Sam Landers. Steele says he's got it, makes the dig. But it hits the net as Brookhuizen couldn't get enough altitude when he tried to hit it.
Yeah. I think he probably messed up his jump timing. Just wasn't expecting to be that high. And he just had to go for it, but it just couldn't get over the net, sadly.
Fieldhouse will try to give the Bulldogs the lead. Makes the serve. There's the dig from Steele. There's the set. And that's great awareness shown by Beck Fieldhouse as the Bulldogs take the lead 7-6 on the attack error. Fieldhouse. Now he's going to help the Bulldogs try to make the extension. But that goes too far. It's just like that, Dion. We're tied up at 7.
Yeah, no, we were just like this last set. If I think it was about 10-10. This is going to be a big point for whoever gets it first. They could start mounting a sizable lead.
And the service error on Serafini. That was Davidson. That will give the Bulldogs an 8-7 lead. So now the door is open for Carson Bell.
Carson having a pretty good first set when it came to his serves. Can he continue this?
Bell gets it over the net as Bell may have hit it a little too hard. That'll be a service error on Carson Bell. It's Roland Macklin will come back into this game and substitute for him as Nick Boldkey will serve it for the Knights. As Landers thought it was going too far back, but that'll be a service ace for Nick Boldkey, as it is 9-8. Boldkey now.
Wow, Boldkey again. Back-to-back aces. Hitting the backcourt. Adrian is going to make an adjustment, but will he be able to adjust again, maybe get really shallow?
And Graysick, you can see him trying to get it over, but the Bulldogs quickly recovered. Graysick now setting it up. Landers trying to get the point, but it's dug up by Jalen, and it hits the net. So that'll be an attack error. It'll give the point to the Bulldogs. So the Knights lead by 1, 10-9, as Andrew Graysick will make the serve. He gets over the net. And now here's Brookhuizen gets the point. It is 11-9. So it's a 2-point lead as we're getting a couple of substitutions in. So Nick Boldkey is back to serve for the Calvin Knights. He just had a couple of service aces moments ago. He'll try to get another one here, but instead it'll be a service error.
This game so far has just been a game of errors. I think whoever is going to win this game, this match, is going to be the one who minimizes their errors the most.
Now here's Zach Molnar making the serve. It's dug up by Gudauskas. Now there's a set. Gudauskas trying to dig it up, hits the net. We're tied at 11 in the second set.
From the side of Calvin, communication still becomes another problem. You saw Loughlin, try to go for a set midair, but the team was just not ready.
There's a set. Davidson getting over Macklin with the low set, but Fieldhouse gets it back over. The Knights hanging on to it. Graysick makes the dig. Macklin with the set for Landers. That was a great dig by Cameron Dogger. over the net, but Molnar gets it over. But that'll be the 12th point going to the Calvin Knights. As Landers having a conversation with the referees.
You know, and there we go. You see the ball comes up in a beautiful joust from the side of Calvin to win it over. You know, if Adrian want to keep moving up here, they have to start winning at this line, at this net, you know. There's been a way more joust. I think that's the second one of this set. It seems like there's going to be more. If they want to start mounting some points, they need to keep that up.
So it's 12-11, and that'll be a service ace for Brady Godowskis. As the Knights lead by 2, 13-11.
Here's a replay of this serve here, and it's perfectly in the middle of two of the Adrian players.
Meanwhile, Landers makes a set, helps out Molnar, and it's dug up by Dogger. Dug up by Steele. Macklin with the set. Landers with the set for Zach Molnar. But the Knights dig it back up. Now Davidson getting it over, and he just gets it through. He just gets it through Fieldhouse. And now it's 14-11. So Godowskis still has the ball for the Calvin Knights. It's over the net. There's a dig. And here's Fieldhouse. Gets it over. Set up by Dogger. Now Parker Steele. And it's set up by Loughlin. Landers getting it over the net. That one will go to the Bulldogs. As again, you could see the referees making that sign. It means the ball made contact with the hand before touching the floor.
Yeah, no. To be able to get this point for the side of Adrian would be huge to start mounting a comeback.
So now here's Gutierrez. Makes the serve. Set up by Dogger to Davidson. Great awareness. Excuse me. It'll go to the Calvin Knights. Now you can see Zach Molnar. He thought it was going to be out. But it will go to the Knights. It's their 15th. So that point, that was a kill by Jake Davidson, assisted from Cameron Dogger. It's Graysick trying to set up for Beck Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse gets point number 13 for the Bulldogs.
Fieldhouse, for the entire season, he's been a massive help. In today's game, he is going to be another massive help. Kill after kill, point after point from Fieldhouse.
Now Landers makes the serve, and that one will go to the Bulldogs. That'll be a service ace for Sam Landers.
Landers, he planted that beautifully. Floated right over the head of the Calvin players. They all thought it was going to go out, but it landed right on the line.
Landers getting it over the net. Now here's Loughlin setting it. Now here's Bell trying to get it over, and he does. Molnar now making the set to Graysick, and he helps Landers, and Landers ties it up.
Beautiful by Landers. You know, he actually did kind of do a little early celebrate with that first spike, but and Calvin were able to keep it up, but the ball don't lie. He got it back over, it hit the other side, and he was able to get the point.
And Landers makes the set as Bell and Fieldhouse working together, and the Bulldogs take a 16-15 lead.
The Bulldogs with the power of friendship, the double joust. Let's look at this again. Here comes the serve, and the double joust from both of the Adrian players. Knocking it straight down. Calvin had nothing they could do there.
Now that was a nice job by Carson Bell, getting it back in where nobody was there either. As Steele now makes the dig. Now Dogger sets it up for Davidson. As we're tied up at 16. As Dion, this has started to become a back and forth second set here.
Yeah, no, it is starting to look like a fight. We are having rally after rally, point after point, back and forth, back and forth. This is going to be a good game, folks.
There's a set from Zach Molnar. Andrew Graysick for Beck Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse hits it too far.
Just a little outside for Fieldhouse. But he's so far, this entire match so far, leading up to this set, he's been doing absolutely amazing for the side of Adrian.
So here's Ezekiel Jalen. He serves it. Graysick setting up for Beck Fieldhouse. That one was close, but it will go to the Bulldogs. That'll be a kill by Fieldhouse.
Yeah, let's look at it back at this again. So here comes the serve here. And here comes the set. And it's hit off the side of the hands of the Calvin players. And that's what gets the point for Adrian.
Yeah, Andrew Graysick, he's done very well at the assists. Roland Macklin makes the dig as Fieldhouse tried getting it back in. But it's 18-17 in favor of the Calvin Knights.
Yeah.
Making the serve now will be Jake Davidson. As Roland Macklin taking a second to wipe a couple of spots on the floor, making sure nobody slips.
Yeah, no, there's been so many of these guys moving around on this ground, and, you know, they're all sweaty, so one slip could cause a very bad injury.
Landers now making the dig, and you can see the momentum on the dig. Got it back in the Knights' territory, but they saw it and took it as an opportunity to get their 19th point. So they lead 19-17 here in this second set. This has been a back and forth here at Marilat Sport and Fitness Center, and we're going to take a step aside for a timeout. But we'll be right back here at Marilat Sport and Fitness Center.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
The Calvin University Knights have a 19-17 lead in this second set over the Adrian College Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead of this match as they won the first set 25-18. But Dion, what are some things that could happen of this second set?
You know, so far, Calvin has been leading in the service aces and making sure they can keep their momentum up. You know, there's been rally after rally, but it seems like Calvin is constantly finding an end to each one.
And Graysick, you can see him trying to assist Carson Bell, but could not quite get the contact that he wanted. The Knights have their 20th point.
You know, and as you saw there, a beautiful block from the side of Calvin. They have been doing great at that all game today.
So Davidson making the serve for the Knights. Roland Macklin, right place, right time with the dig. Carson Bell trying to get it back in. Well, on the one-handed play by Jalen. So the Bulldogs get the point on an error. So the Bulldogs get the ball back. It is up to Carson Bell. This is a huge opportunity for Adrian College to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Carson Bell, he's been doing great with his serves. If he wants to start pulling away, start tying up the lead.
That was an outstanding block. That was a good effort, though, by Webster. But
yeah,
his hands were a little too far over the net, so that'll be the 21st point for the Knights. So Nick Boldke will be making the serve for the Knights. And the dig by Fieldhouse makes it go back over the net. As that hits the net, the Bulldogs get their 19th. Andrew Graysick will be serving it for Adrian College. So the door is open for the Bulldogs. Graysick with the serve. Gets it over the net. There's a set from Parker Steele. Beck Fieldhouse with the set. Graysick to Nathan Webster. As Webster makes an easy play to make it a 1-point game.
Webster has been doing great today. That was an amazing tip right over the net. Calvin were not ready. Adrian this entire game has been power on power, and now they were slowing it down with a nice tip.
And there's a set from Jalen. Graysick with another great dig. And that'll be a kill for Bryce Brookhuizen.
You know, that was an amazing back set to Brookhuizen, and he was just able to find the open space and just send that ball to the doghouse.
So now Cameron Dogger, he'll be making the serve for the Knights. They're just 3 points away from taking the second set and tying up this match. And that'll be a point going to the Bulldogs. It's their 21st. And again, Dion, back and forth. It's starting to happen.
This is an extremely close game. And here we have Fieldhouse to tie up the game.
It's actually Zach Molnar who'll be making the serve.
Excuse me, Molnar.
Molnar gets it over the net. There's the set from Dogger. Over the net from Davidson. And Zach Molnar hit it too far. Or wait. No, instead it'll be the Bulldogs' point as I may have missed a little. It may have made contact again with the hand before it touched the floor.
Molnar back here. He's been doing great with his serves all game.
Molnar and the Knights lead 23-22. It'll be a service error on Zach Molnar.
You know, and the service errors are back. You know, this has been a game of where a lot of points have been made off these service errors and just attacking errors in general.
So here is Godowskis. It's Roland Macklin. Makes the dig. Gives it to Beck Fieldhouse to Zach Molnar. There's a set from Dogger. As Logan. That will go to the Knights as Landers tried making the block. But apparently the momentum made it go too far. So.
Yeah, and here's this replay. Look at this, right? So here comes this beautiful set and the power, and it's a great block, but just so much power from Logan. It just sends the ball flying back out, and it gives the point to Calvin.
So the Knights just need one more point to take the second set and to tie up this match 1-1. Dion Clark and Forrest Frenier from ACTV will be right back after these messages.
To become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
The Knights lead 24-22. They need just one more point, Dion, to take this second set. But if the Bulldogs can come back and get to 25, they will actually need to get to 26 points. Because remember, to win each set,
you have to win by 2.
And so it's up to Godowskis. Beck Fieldhouse. Graysick showing great awareness. Fieldhouse getting it over the net. Parker Steele with the dig. Logan getting it over as the flag goes up.
And a great eye for Macklin, knowing the ball is going to go straight outside as soon as it crossed over the net.
Making the serve is Nathan Webster. He'll try to tie this game up. There's the set from Dogger over the net. Molnar misses as the Calvin Knights tie up this match at 1 set apiece.
Yeah, no, Calvin played greatly throughout that. Being able to keep the aggression and turn the tides. This match was this set was extremely closer than the set previous. You know, you know, Calvin was great within the aspects of their blocking, but also keeping their serves good. But we'll be going to a break. Forrest Veneer, Dion Clark, we'll be back after these messages.
Bulldog fans, welcome to the home of Adrian College Athletics. Brought to you by Adrian College Television. Follow us on social media to be connected to the latest broadcasts, news, highlights, and more. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. ACTV's social media handle is at Adrian College TV on all platforms. Thank you to all of our fans who tune in to support us at ACTV.
Evans back on the court here with one of our seniors, Zach Molnar. Now, in the first set, you had 5 kills, and now you're up to 2 more. So how do you plan to keep this momentum going throughout the rest of this game?
I mean, honestly, you just got to keep our passes up. That's our whole offense right now. If our good passes are in there, we can run our middles, we can run our pins. Our middles are strong enough to pull their blocks, so it's easier for us on the pins to have a one-on-one. So honestly, just got to keep our passes up and keep communicating. That's how our success was for the first set. Just got to keep that up.
All right, great answer. And then one more question I got for you. So since you've stepped on the court for your beginning of your seasons joining Adrian College Volleyball, what are you taking with you now that you're concluding your last senior season?
I mean, honestly, the friendships. I've been with these guys for 4 years now. We've lost some few on the way, but our core guys have been with us all the way through. I mean, that's basically it. College is all fun and games, but it's all about the friendships that you make afterwards.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Zach. I'm Audrey Evans here at ACTV. Back to you, Forrest and Dion.
Thank you very much, Audrey. Thank you very much, Audrey. So we're just about ready to start this third set. It is tied up, 1-1.
You know, and as you heard from Zach Molnar, Adrian needs to keep their passes up, and that is what they were good at. You know, in that first set, being able to keep their passes up, keeping the tempo on their game, on their side, was a way how they won this first set. If they want to try to keep moving forward and, you know, be able to start getting some more sets, I think they need to slow down the tempo, play their game.
So the Bulldogs, their hitting percentage is now at .241. The Knights, they've gone up just a little bit, but they're at .063. The Bulldogs, they've scored a total of 48 points of this match. The Knights with 43. The Bulldogs have had 23 kills. The Knights have had 19 kills, and attack errors, they've been kind of big going on. 15 for the Knights and 9 for the Bulldogs. Total attacks 63 for the Knights, 58 for the Bulldogs. There have been 20 assists for the Bulldogs, 17 for the Calvin Knights. As the Knights have the ball, as Dogger makes the serve, Landers makes the dig. As Zach Molnar gets the first point of this third set. Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead as Zach Molnar gets the kill. So making the serve will be Andrew Graysick, who in last night's game, he helped the Bulldogs with assisting his teammates to get the points. He's been doing that a lot here against the Knights. It gets over the net as we're tied up at 1. It's now, I believe, for the second set in a row, after the Bulldogs get the first point, the Knights have tied it up 1-1.
Yeah, no, this has been a very close match so far. Ties after ties, back and forth and back and forth.
So that'll be a service error on Godowskis as the Bulldogs have a 2-1 lead. Making the serve will be Zach Molnar. Bulldogs lead 2-1. Molnar tosses it up. He makes the serve. As the set, it'll go to the Bulldogs. That'll be on an attack error as they lead 3-1. Now here is Zach Molnar. He'll be making his second serve in a row. There's Molnar trying to extend the lead for the Bulldogs. There's the set from Steele. Davidson And that one gets past Zach Molnar. Now it's 3-2 Bulldogs. The second point for the Knights of this third set. So making the serve will be Giovanni Serafini.
Serafini, he's been great with his serves. He's been up here a lot. Let's see what he can do.
Fieldhouse with the dig as Graysick sets it up for Zach Molnar. Now Davidson to Macklin, Graysick, and Landers with the one-handed play.
Wow. And that was beautiful from Landers, you know, showing a little, instead of having a lot of power, he's been doing these shorter tips. So it's been messing with the Calvin's block timing and getting it right under the block, and they have no time to really react.
So here's Nathan Webster, who has done pretty well in this game. He will be making the serve for the Bulldogs. So they have a 4-2 lead here of this third set. Gets it over the net. There's the dig. As Webster makes an outstanding dig, and the force of it makes it go over the net. Here's the set. Landers, as Graysick tries helping Fieldhouse, but an attack error will give the Knights their third point. So this match is tied at 1 set apiece. Bulldogs won the first set 25-18. The Knights won 25-23 in the second set, but it's 4-3 Bulldogs so far in the third. Molnar tries getting it over, but another attack error. We are tied up at 4.
You know, these blocks from Calvin, I stated it earlier in the previous set, their blocks have been really good. And if they're able to keep up this fast timing and keep these blocks going, it'll be great for them.
Graysick made the one-handed play. You can see the effort on Roland Macklin made on the dig.
Yeah, Macklin has been an absolute dog today. He has been down on the ground so many times. Getting dirty, getting sweaty.
And Graysick setting it up for Carson Bell, who ties it up 5-5.
That was a great spike by Bell. Here it is. Let's see this serve, right? So it comes right over. You have Macklin, again, been doing amazing, and Bell finds it right in the middle, right below the libero of Calvin. Oh, and unfortunately, a service error from Landers. Unfortunate.
The Knights will get the ball back. Making the serve will be Jake Davidson, wearing number 5. Gets it over the net. And the flag goes up. Great awareness shown for the Bulldogs, and we are tied at 6. So now the door is open for Beck Fieldhouse.
Yeah, you know, Beck Fieldhouse, an amazing talent. He's been doing amazing today. Let's see what he can pull off.
Fieldhouse getting it over the net. There's the set from Jalen. As Brooke Heisen gets it over. Landers, as Sam Landers gives the Bulldogs the lead 7-6 on the kill.
Landers, amazing back row spike. He digs it up, and then he's able to get a spike back at it again.
So here's Beck Fieldhouse making another serve. And a nice dig by Parker Steele. Fieldhouse digs it back up. Here is Graysick and Zach Molnar. One-handed play, gets it in. As Fieldhouse has to hurry, makes the dig.
Molnar is there to keep it alive, and holy!
Bulldogs take an 8-6 lead. Beck Fieldhouse. This is a big opportunity for them to make the extension they lead, because no matter how big of a lead you have, Dion, you never want to get comfortable.
Exactly.
As the Knights get it back in, that'll be a kill for Brady Godowskis.
Godowskis, he has been a name you've been hearing a lot tonight. Kill after kill, point after point.
So now serving it will be Nick Boltke.
You have a short stoppage in play. Macklin cleaning up some wet spots. But we'll be back right now.
So the Bulldogs have an 8-7 lead. And Boltke, he's ready. He makes the serve, trying to tie up this game. As Graysick, I mean, you can see Graysick barely even touched that one.
But it was perfect. Graysick, he knew it was going to be going over shallow, and he just dumps it right in. Here it is. Look at the serve, right? Dug up by Macklin, and Graysick immediately dumps it. He's been showing that he's been having these sets all game, but he dumps it right down. Calvin was not ready.
But that'll be a service error on Carson Bell. It is a 9-8 game. It's Roland Macklin will come back in and substitute for Bell.
You know, but I really feel like if Adrian wants to start mounting a lead, they need to start messing up with the tempo. It's been fast, fast, fast. They need to start throwing in more tips. They need to slow down the game.
Nathan Webster almost got the point, but it's blocked in by Webster. The Knights still have it. Now the Bulldogs.
Oh, a communication error. Communication error.
Yeah, it landed between Fieldhouse and Graysick. This game is now tied. 9 points for the Bulldogs, 9 points for the Knights of this third set. Cameron Dogger will be making the serve, but that'll give the Bulldogs the lead on the service error by Cameron Dogger. It's 10-9 Adrian. Making the serve now will be Andrew Graysick. He makes the serve. Now there's the set by Godowskis. And it lands in front of Macklin. It will go to the Knights. It's a 10-10. 10-10 game here in this third set. Godowskis will be making the serve. Here it is, and it's over the net, and it's dug up by Fieldhouse. And a great block by Nathan Webster.
Beautiful. Beautiful by Webster. Immediately there, the only one, the only dog willing to go up there and challenge the Knights.
So the Bulldogs have an 11-10 lead. Zach Molnar now making the serve. Davidson getting it over the net. Fieldhouse with the set for Sam Landers.
Oh.
And it's blocked by Davidson, and we're tied up at 11.
I think this is the fourth time this set, maybe, that it's been tied up. This is a battle. I don't know if I've ever seen a fight between dogs and Knights before, but hey, it's kind of like a UFC pay-per-view. You got to see it.
So making the serve is Giovanni Serafini. Trying to give the Knights back the lead. Graysick will set it up for Sam Landers. That one was close, but the Knights saw it and quickly recovered. Graysick will set up for Nathan Webster. And the point will go to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. You saw Calvin used up all their touches. They just had to get the ball back over, and Adrian took their time. They did a nice, good high set to get it right back over.
Webster now making the set. Barely got over the net. And the flag goes up. Molnar, you can see Molnar there showing great awareness as the Bulldogs take a 13-11 lead in this third set. So now the door is open for Nathan Webster. She'll be making the serve for Adrian College. As there's a set. That one lands right in front of Webster. As the Knights get their 12th, as we're getting a couple of substitutions for Calvin, as Jalen and Serafine, that's Brooke Heisen. They will come in and take over for Dogger and Loughlin. And that's over the net. There's a set from Fieldhouse to Sam Landers. As Brooke Heisen sets it up for Davidson. And Graysick to Carson Bell. Carson Bell gets the kill. Bulldogs lead 14-12.
Carson Bell. That name has been coming up a lot. He has been an amazing factor in today's games, from his serves to his kills.
So Sam Landers will be making the serve for the Bulldogs. Now here's Davidson. Macklin with a great dig. Showing that defense. Macklin and Grayson getting it to it quick. The referee blows the whistle. That point will go to the Knights. So there may have been an error of some sort, as it's a 1-point game. Bulldogs lead 14-13 of this third set.
Yeah, and short stoppage of play again. Look, these guys have been fighting, putting everything on the line. This game means so much to either side of these, either side.
Making the serve is Jake Davidson. The Knights have a chance to tie it all up. Macklin digs it up really low as Sam Landers hits it in for the kill. 15-13 Bulldogs.
Landers is the dog owner. He has been showing that backcourt is his home, constantly getting point after point from that backcourt. Landers has been amazing for this game.
So now here's Beck Fieldhouse, makes the serve. Here's the set, and it's blocked by, as you can see, Bell trying to make the block. His hands were too far over the net. It's a 1-point game, 15-14 Bulldogs. Making the serve will be Nick Boltke, the sophomore from Byron Center, Michigan. And Landers with the dig. Graysick setting up for Carson Bell. We are tied at 15. So that was an attack error on the Bulldogs, on Carson Bell. Boltke will be making another serve. He will try to give the Knights the lead. Here it is. Macklin with the dig. Landers now was assisted by Graysick. As Landers gets the kill, it is 16-15 in this third set.
Again, Landers in this backcourt, constantly showing his worth.
So now here's Carson Bell. Will be making the serve for the Bulldogs. He gets it over the net. There's the dig, and it's set up. Fieldhouse now making the dig. Set up by Graysick to Landers.
Landers again.
It's 17-15 in favor of the Bulldogs. As Landers gets the kill, it was assisted by Andrew Graysick. Now here's Bell trying to help extend the lead, but I think I may have jinxed it there as Bell gets the service. It gets a service error. That'll be the 16th point for the Knights, as Jalen and Brookhuizen will be substituted in. Here's Cameron Dogger. As Macklin makes the dig, it's set from Graysick to Beck Fieldhouse. And the Bulldogs get their 18th.
Graysick has been amazing this entire game. The sets have been absolutely perfect. Constantly slowing them down, getting them to the perfect height for each spiker to just send it back over.
So Andrew Graysick, he'll be making the serve. Bulldogs trying to extend their lead. Parker Steele trying to set it up. Fieldhouse with the dig. And Graysick to Zach Molnar. And it gets two. And that was a little too much for the Knights. Bulldogs get their 19th point.
Bulldogs are starting to pull away. The momentum is starting to go towards them. Can Calvin be able to stop this and tie it up again?
Graysick getting it over the net. The flag goes up. It'll be a service error on the Bulldogs. They lead by 2. It's 19-17. And serving it will be the guy who wears number 17, Brady Godowskis. It's over the net. And Webster gets point number 20 for the Bulldogs, assisted by Graysick. And Zach Molnar will be making the serve. Bulldogs are just 5 points away from taking this third set and taking a 2-1 lead of this match. Here is Zach Molnar, tosses it up, makes the serve, as Beck Fieldhouse gets the 21st point for the Bulldogs.
And that's going to lead to a timeout from the side of Calvin. Let's look back at this. Molnar sends it back over, some momentum, and Fieldhouse jumps up and sends it back down. That ball's going all the way to the doghouse.
Absolutely, Dion, as the Bulldogs lead 21-17 here at Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. As we're going to take a step aside for a quick timeout. We'll be right back after these messages on ACTV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Bulldogs have a pretty good lead. It is 21-17 here in this third set. As Dion, they have their offense and defense has really been helping them out, but they're starting to really pull away. But now is the time for them to capitalize here, because again, you do not want to get comfortable with no matter how large of a lead you have.
Exactly. You know, Calvin, it just seems like they're kind of off kilter. Calvin needs something to start putting this in. But if Adrian wants to keep this lead, Molnar, Fieldhouse, Lanners, they have to keep moving up with these points.
Molnar, he is making the serve now. There's the set. That was over the net, but it goes too far. Bulldogs get their 22nd. Now they need 3 to take this third set and to take a 2-1 lead in this match. The door is open for Zach Molnar. Molnar with a good toss-up, makes the serve, and it's dug up by Parker Steele. There's the set from Cameron Dogger. And there's the block as Webster and Fieldhouse work together on that one. It's 23-17.
You know, and Webster, let's look at this, right? So beautiful set from the side of Adrian. And Webster in Fieldhouse. Webster, the freshman, has been doing amazing this entire game. And that's going to be another timeout from the side of Calvin. You know, these are the things that you have to be worried about. They constantly are putting the pressure on them.
So the Bulldogs have a 23-17 lead here in this set. They just need 2 more points to take this third set, to take a 2-1 lead in this series. Adrian has a total of, they have 71 points overall in this match. The Knights have 60. 37 kills for the Bulldogs, 28 of them for the Calvin Knights. As there have been, as again, attack errors, we've seen a lot of those here, Dion. 19 for the Knights, 13 for the Bulldogs. The total attacks 89 for the Knights. 80.
You know, Adrian has really, dialed in on trying to minimize those errors. I stated earlier, in this match around the first set that there's a lot of errors going back and forth between either team, and whoever can minimize those earlier, I felt like was going to be the ones to overcome it and be able to make a win out of here. And it seems like Adrian is on their way to a victory with that.
Here's Zach Molnar, makes the serve. Dug up from the Knights. There's a dig from Steele. Fieldhouse making the set. Now here's Graysick to Nathan Webster. Webster does it again. Gets the 21st point for the Bulldogs. Let Bruiser paw print that one on the board.
Beautiful. Again, look at this, right? Beautiful set. And Webster, oh my gosh. This freshman has been doing amazing work today.
Now Zach Molnar making another serve. That will go to the Bulldogs. Zach Molnar gets the service ace 25-17 as the Bulldogs take a 2-1 lead of this match against the Calvin Knights. Dion, do you have any thoughts here?
I'm telling you, let's just look back at this, right? It was a beautiful, beautiful service ace from the side of Milnar. Makes his celebration. Look, there is so much momentum, so much chemistry on the side of Adrian. If Calvin are not able to make a stake within this, it is going to be a bad rest of this match for Calvin.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are just one away from taking this match, but we're going to take a step aside for a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more Bulldog Volleyball at Marilat Sport and Fitness Center.
10 years ago, Adrian College Television set out on a mission to bring the excitement, the passion, and the unforgettable moments of Bulldog athletics to fans everywhere. From the field to the court, from nail-biting finishes to championship victories, ACTV has been there to capture it all.
Yeah, Jordan Spear. Happy birthday, buddy. I'm sure.
This year, we celebrate a decade of dedication, 10 years of innovation, teamwork, and delivering the energy of Adrian College straight to your screen. Here's to the next chapter of ACTV, because at Adrian College, the story is just beginning. Ten years ago, Adrian College Television set out on a mission to bring the excitement, the passion.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
The Bulldogs have a lead, 2-1 of this best-of-5 match. I'm Forrest Vernier alongside Dion Clark, and it has been an absolute fun game to call here, Dion. It's because in the third set, it was just back and forth, but the Bulldogs, the door opened for them, and they found that gear to get point after point after point as they just won the third set 25-17, as that made their hitting percentage go up to .301. It's gone up just a little bit again for the Knights. They're at 100. Bulldogs have scored a total of 73 points. The Calvin Knights with 60, 38 kills for the Bulldogs. The 28 kills have come from the Calvin Knights. 19 attack errors from the Calvin Knights, 13 attack errors for the Bulldogs. Total attacks, the Knights have had more, 90 of them, 83 for the Bulldogs. 33 assists for the Bulldogs, 25 of them. For the Knights, as Carson Bell makes the first serve, and that'll be a service error on Carson Bell, which gives the Knights a 1-0 lead to start this fourth set.
Yeah. You know, I think even with that service error, that's not enough Calvin needs. You know, the momentum is all in Adrian. They have the home court advantage, and they have the momentum.
It's Beck Fieldhouse, digs it up. Sam Landers trying to get it through. As Bulldogs tie it up 1-1.
That was a crazy rally. You know, I talked about momentum, but speaking of momentum, Calvin had so much momentum on that ball. It sent it back over, but Adrian were able to keep it up, and Landers again sending that ball back over.
Now here's Jake Davidson. Gets over the net. And Webster does it again with the one-handed play, just tipping it over the net and where nobody was standing.
Yeah, no, Calvin was not ready. You know, Calvin's probably thinking they're going to be fast, they're going to be offensive, you know, they're going to be aggressive. But Webster there knew this and decided to tip right over.
And that will land. That will be the Knights' point. It's a 2-2 tie in this fourth set.
Another set where both Calvin and Adrian have been tied. Let's see how many more ties it may be.
Serving it will be Serafini. He makes a serve as Fieldhouse makes the dig. Graysick will set it up for Webster. It goes over the net, but it goes out. The Knights have a 3-2 lead in this fourth set. So now making the serve will be Serafini again. It's a big opportunity for Calvin University to extend their amount of points. Serafini, he makes the serve. It's dug up by Fieldhouse. Landers softly hits it over the net. One-handed dig by Dogger. Davidson getting it over the net, dug up by Fieldhouse. Now here comes Zach Molnar, and it's blocked.
But it's kept up. We have a rally, folks.
As Macklin makes the play, but it lands on the floor. It'll be a 4-2 lead for the Knights.
Look at this. Spike after spike. Molnar, Webster keeps it up. I'm telling you, Adrian are fighting. They want this win. They've been showing this from set after set, and they need to keep it up if they want to secure a win here.
Now Adrian has to win this fourth set to win this match. But if the Knights, who just got their 5th point, if the Knights tie up this match 2-2, there will be a 5th set.
Yeah, no, that will be where things fully get decided. 1st to 15 for that one. So that will be a major decider.
Remember, it still has to be by 2 points, right? As that point will go to the Bulldogs on the service error. As it is 5-3 Knights. Zach Molnar will be making the serve for the Bulldogs. So the service error was on Serafini. And the Bulldogs get a service ace by Zach Molnar. Remember, Zach Molnar ended the 3rd set on a service ace. Is now he's seeming to pick up where he left off, Dion.
Exactly. You know, and Calvin thought they had a good eye on it. They all dodged it. But Molnar was able to keep it right at the edge of the court.
As Molnar tried for another service ace, but the Knights hang on to it, and it gets by Molnar. As that'll be a kill for the Knights.
Godowskis has been amazing this entire game. We've heard his name throughout the entire cast.
Now making the serve will be Ezekiel Jalen. The Knights have a 6-4 lead here in this fourth set. Trying to add on more. You never know what could happen here. Molnar with the set. Helps Nathan Webster get the 5th point for the Bulldogs on the kill.
Wow. Beautiful. Molnar keeps it up. Graysick gets the set, and Webster finishes it down. Those three have been amazing this entire game.
And Webster gets it over the net. There's the set by Dogger. Over the net from Boltke. Landers taking his time, makes the dig. Jalen with the one-handed play. Great awareness shown for the Bulldogs. So that'll be an attack error on the Knights. It's a 6-6 tie here in this fourth set. So here is Nathan Webster, who will make the serve. And a service error on Nathan Webster gives the Knights a 7-6 lead in this fourth set. So now here's Davidson making the serve. Molnar digs it up. And Landers gets the point for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, beautiful point by Landers.
It is 7-7. As Landers, who just made the kill, will be making the serve with a 7-7 tie. The door is open for the Bulldogs to try and take the lead. It's over the net. There's the set. That's over the net. Macklin with the dig. Now Zach Molnar. Molnar gives the Bulldogs the lead 8-7.
Beautiful by the side of Adrian. Macklin again, constantly getting all these digs up, and then it's pushed to Molnar to finish it out.
So here is Sam Landers making the serve, and you can see Bell trying to make the block, but the Knights hanging on to it. You can see that try on the block again, and it goes too far. But no, it'll be, as the referees was saying, it's the point for the Knights is now Sam Landers having a conversation with the referee.
It appears that the refs have said that the ball hit the blockers of Adrian's hands, and then it sends it outside, causing for a point to go to Calvin.
So the call will stand. This is an 8-8 tie. Fieldhouse with the dig. Now Zach Molnar trying to get the point for the Bulldogs. No, not quite. Knights hanging on to it. That's Grayson. Sets it up for Carson Bell.
Beautiful.
As the Bulldogs lead 9-8 in this fourth set.
Yeah, this is big. This is big. Adrian can start mounting a lead. Start mounting the momentum. Short stoppage of play for cleaning up the wet spots on the court.
So now the door is open for Beck Fieldhouse to serve it. At Beck Fieldhouse, he's probably thinking service ace right now. Tosses up in the air. He makes the serve. It's dug up by Parker Steele. And Macklin with the dig. Molnar has to hurry. What a great play.
Oh!
But Carson Bell couldn't quite get the contact he wanted.
Yeah, I think it was also an aspect of a communication error. Bell didn't know if Macklin or himself were going to go for the ball, and he eventually just had to go for it.
And just like that, we are tied. 9 points for the Bulldogs, 9 points for the Knights in this fourth set. Dogger makes it go over the net, as that will go to the Bulldogs. It'll be a service error on Dogger, as it's a 10-9 game. So here is Carson Bell, who will be making the serve. Bell makes the serve, gets over the net. That'll be a service error on Bell.
Service error for service error.
So it's a 10-10 game. Making the serve will be Godowskis here in this fourth set. And it's over the net. It will go to the Bulldogs. It'll be a service ace for Brady Godowskis. Godowskis will be making his second serve in a row as the Knights have an 11-10 lead in this fourth set. And it's over the net. And now that'll be a service error on Godowskis as this game is tied at 11. So here is Andrew Graysick. Bulldogs have a chance to take back the lead. Graysick makes the serve. There's a set from Steele. Almost lands on the floor, but the Knights showing good communication there. Graysick will set it up for Zach Molnar. Molnar gets the kill. Bulldogs have a 12-11 lead.
Molnar again. Let's see this, right? Macklin keeps it up to Graysick and to Milnar right into the middle where all of Calvin were not there. They were all in the front of that net, but Molnar was able to find the gap.
Also served by Graysick. Davidson tried to get it over. That point will go in favor of the Knights. Just like that, we're tied up again, 12-12. Serving it will be Giovanni Serafini. The door is open for the Knights to reclaim the lead. Here it is, over the net. The dig from Landers, set up by Graysick. Landers trying to get the point. That one goes over the PA desk. Bulldogs have a 13-12 lead. Here is Zach Molnar, who will be making the serve.
2 service aces for Milnar. Will he be able to get a third?
Molnar gets it over the net. Touches it a little, but still in play. It lands in front of Macklin. The whistle is blown. The Knights get their 13th point. It'll be on an attack error. So we're getting a couple of substitutions in as Loughlin and Dogger. They'll be substituted by Jalen and Brookhuizen. Jalen will be making the serve for the Knights. It's a 13-13 game here in this fourth set. It's over the net as Molnar couldn't get the contact he wanted on the dig as the Knights reclaim the lead 14-13. As Ezekiel Jalen, the freshman from Wisconsin, as Bulldogs now have control over it. So we're tied up at 14.
Yeah, beautiful by Adrian. Keeping the pressure and keeping Calvin fighting.
So here's Nathan Webster. With a 14-14 tie. Webster getting it over the net. There's a set from Jalen to Davidson. As that will be the Bulldogs' point.
Yeah, touch the antenna on the side of the net, giving the point to Adrian.
So the Bulldogs have the lead 15-14. Here's Nathan Webster. There's a set. And Parker Steele with the dig. Landers now with the dig. Graysick will do his thing and set up for Sam Landers, who does it again. Gives the Bulldogs their 16th point of this fourth set.
It seems like we've been hearing Graysick to Landers a lot.
Yeah, Graysick has done a great job with assisting his teammates. As Parker Steele with the set, Landers digging it up. Graysick to Beck Fieldhouse, and that one was blocked by Brookhuizen. It's a 1-point game as now the Knights have a chance to tie it up here. Making the serve is Jake Davidson. Davidson, he makes the serve. It's dug up by Beck Fieldhouse. Here is Zach Molnar trying to get the kill. And another block ties it up.
And it seems like it's going to be a timeout from the side of Adrian. You know, Adrian, Calvin tied. They've been putting in a lot of work now.
And we're going to step aside for a break, but it's a tie game, 16-16. Dion and Forrest from ACTV will be back after these messages.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campusvisit.
It is a 16-16 tie here in this fourth set at Marilat Sport and Fitness Center. I'm Forrest Frenier alongside Dion Clark, and this has been, again, back and forth from the Bulldogs and the Knights. Because remember, if the Bulldogs can win this fourth set, that's it. This match is over. But if the Knights can even up this series, even up this match, there will be a fifth set.
Yeah. This has been a fight for the ages. Dogs versus the Knights.
Making the set will be Davidson. Molnar digs it up. And Carson Bell gives the Bulldogs the lead 17-16 on the kill. Let Bruiser paw print that one on the board. as Landers will be making the serve. So the door is open for Landers. He makes the serve, gets over the net. Jalen will set it up. As Graysick will set up for Carson Bell. Bell does it again. Makes it 18-16.
Bell, he had a little rough third set. Doing a little good, but messing up here and there, but he's trying to make up for it.
And Landers gets it over the net, touches it a little bit, but that's okay. As long as it doesn't make direct contact, as Morris, or excuse me, that was Talsma who made the set. And it's almost over the net. Jalen, that one lands in front of Talsma, and it's a 1-point game, 18-17 in favor of the Bulldogs. As Parker Steele will be substituted in by Giovanni Serafini, as Nick Boltke will be serving it as the door is open for the Knights to try and tie it up.
Amazing fight from the side of Adrian on that previous score. Another stoppage of game for wet spots on the court. It's been happening a lot. These guys have been fighting. This game means a lot to either side.
So here is Boltke. He makes the serve. Talsma with the set. Fieldhouse gets it over. That will go to the Bulldogs. Beck Fieldhouse makes it 19-17.
Again, a nice little tip over. If Adrian starts playing into that, doing hard spikes with soft tips and trying to intermingle that, they will be able to start racking up some points here.
So Garrett Lever will substitute for Sam Landers. Also, we have Carls Baza. He'll be taking over for Andrew Graysick. So here's Beck Fieldhouse, who will serve it. And that'll be a point for the Knights. It's their 18th. So that's Bryce Brookhuizen who gets the kill. So it's a 19-18 game. So we're getting a couple more substitutions now, as Cameron Dogger will come back into this game and serve for the Knights. Here's a serve, gets over the net. Talsma sets it up. Lever to Zach Molnar over the net. It will go to the Knights. We are tied at 19 here in set number 4.
This is another tie. We've seen multiple around this entire game. Will Calvin be able to take this lead?
Talsma with the dig. Lever to Carson Bell. High in the air, and that one's dug up by Steele. As Adrian College tried making the block, and they're successful as they get their 20th.
That was a beautiful triple block from the side of Adrian.
So now Landers and Graysick will come back in for Talsma and Baza. Here is Carson Bell. So the door is open for the Bulldogs. Now is their chance to get these insurance points. Here's Bell. He makes the serve. That was dug up by Godowskis over the net. Bell. You could hear the audience clapping as the Bulldogs get their 21st of this 4th set. And Carson Bell will be serving it. This is his 2nd consecutive serve here.
Has a chance to start pulling away from the Knights.
But that will be a service error as it hits the net, as the Knights will get the ball back. It's a 1-point game. So serving it will be Brady Godowskis.
Godowskis has been a real star for the side of Calvin all game today.
Landers makes the dig by Landers forced it to go all the way to the right side. As we're tied at 21 here, Dion.
We are getting close to set point or match point for Adrian, and closer to a 5th set if Calvin.
That'll be a service error on Godowskis. Bulldogs have a 22-21 lead.
3 points is close. 3 points leads Adrian to a win.
Graysick making the serve. Couple of sets. As whose point will that be? It will go to the Knights.
Back-tied.
It'll be a kill. So now Giovanni Serafini will try to help the Knights reclaim the lead. It is 22-22. Serafini taking his time, gets it over the net, dug up by Talsma. Here's Graysick. He tried making the play. The flag goes up. It will go to the Bulldogs instead. So there may have been an error of some sort.
I think the rest called that it was out for the spike from the side of Calvin. A lot of Calvin players showing that they're not happy with that decision. But Adrian will shall rejoice. And because of that, Calvin will call a timeout.
The Bulldogs lead 23-22, but you never know what's going to happen here. But who's going to win here? Find out when we return after a timeout.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
The Bulldogs are clinging on to the lead 23-22. They need 2 to win this fourth set and to win this match. But the Knights just need 3 more to force a fifth set here, Dion.
Yeah. You know, if Calvin are able to get 2 more points, it will automatically set them for a good chance to go into an overtime. Adrian has the pressure. Either side has the pressure. Calvin can be out of this game if they don't get the points. Adrian can end it all with 2 more.
So now it's up to Zach Molnar. He gets it over the net. It's dug up by Davidson. Now Davidson will try to get the kill point, but it's dug up by Talsma. As that was...
It's called up. It's called outside.
It's a 23-23 tie. As Webster tried getting the kill, but it just went too far outside.
Next point will get to set point. Match point for Adrian. Set point for Calvin.
So now that'll be a service error on Loughlin. So it's 24-23.
The pressure is mounting to Calvin. You saw how much that hurt Loughlin. Will Adrian be able to close this out? Webster, the freshman. And it's out!
A service error on Nathan Webster.
We're going to overtime, folks.
It's 24-24. So instead of the 25th point, it will be the 26th point that either side needs. So here's Davidson. Gets it over the net. Molnar to Graysick to Carson Bell. Bulldogs lead 25-24. They just need 1 more, Dion, to win this.
1 more. Carson Bell, a name that has been coming up so many times throughout this game. He's been trying to show up this entire 4th set.
So now it is up to Sam Landers.
That name you've heard a lot tonight.
Landers came into this game leading the Bulldogs with points. It's up to him. Landers getting it over the net. The set. And that was over the net. And the Bulldogs win it! Cue the music! Oh my gosh, the Bulldogs win it 26-24! 3 sets to 1, but the Bulldogs in their last regular season home game of the season as the clock strikes 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon here in Adrian. They win it 26-24 in this 4th set. That was a close one, Dion. That was so close.
Intensely close. And it was a great win for Adrian, winning it here on senior night.
This has been such a great game for the Knights and the Bulldogs. But on the Bulldogs senior day, they make it such a wholesome moment for our 3 graduating seniors, Micah Lowe, Zach Molnar, and Beck Fieldhouse. So we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back to talk about more things here as the Bulldogs win it. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Bulldogs win the 4th set as they win this match 3-1, 26-24. As there it was back and forth, but they just got the 2 points that they needed. And so we're going to send it downstairs to Audrey Evans, who is with one of the Bulldog players. Audrey, right to you.
Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm back on the court, this time with another senior, Micah Lowe. Now, Micah, I have a question for you. Throughout your career and stepping onto this beautiful court here at Adrian, how do you think you've grown as a player and as a person?
Well, that's a tough question. I think, the environment that the volleyball team is in and how Coach Jose is, he helps us mold into, the good young men that we are today. And it's a privilege to, be a part of this team. I'm forever grateful for it.
Great answer. Thank you so much, Micah, for joining me today. And congratulations on your senior year here at Adrian. Back to you, Forrest. And
Thank you very much, Audrey, as that was Micah Lowe that she just interviewed as he got to share his thoughts about this game, as we would like to congratulate him and Zach Molnar and Beck Fieldhouse for their senior years and ending their final regular season home game of their career and making it a classic one to watch too, Dion.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's take it back to Audrey now, who is with another one of our seniors, Beck Fieldhouse.
once again, back here on the court with another senior, Beck Fieldhouse. Now, Beck, you were one of the leaders today throughout this game. How do you think the mindset and the strategy that you used and your team helped you bring out this strong outcome?
Well, I think, everyone kind of relaxed a little bit and making sure, they play their game and using the skills they know is, to serve, receive, basic attacking, whatever, really kind of came in handy at the end there. And once we started playing our game and didn't play their game, I think we came out on top pretty quickly.
That's a great answer. And one more. So you have been a powerhouse your whole career here at Adrian on this court. Now, leading and knowing that you're going to graduate, how do you think your legacy of you and other seniors will be left on your team?
Well, I know Zach, myself, and Micah were all very big energy, hype people, so I hope that's a legacy we can leave behind for the rest of the squad. And it's just something that we've always been fired up to always play, and I hope that stays with them for the rest of their careers while they're here.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Beck. And right back up to you, Forrest.
Thank you very much, Audrey. That was Beck Fieldhouse, who had a great game today. He had 10 points of this game, 8 of them which were kills. He had 7 errors, but that's okay. He had 20 total attempts, 1 assist, 1 ace, and 8 digs. So this was quite an amazing game for Beck Fieldhouse in the final regular season game of his career for the Adrian College Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a great day for Beck Fieldhouse. putting up crazy points, crazy kills. And yeah, we're going to send it back to Audrey with Coach Soto.
Back here on a court, but this time I'm here with Coach Soto. Now, Coach Soto, today your team led in the highest percent of hits and kills. How do you think those two combined led to the outcome of the game today?
We always talk about trying to be the most aggressive team we can possibly be, and realistically, if men's volleyball, it's all who can be more aggressive. Usually, the aggressor wins. And as a former defensive player myself, I had to change that mentality, change it for the guys. So being aggressive, swinging away, no matter the outcome, is typically what wins us volleyball games. And today, we definitely showcased that we could do that today. So.
Oh, most definitely. Your boys were definitely a powerhouse out on the court today. How, throughout the game today and the rest of the season, do you get them so hyped up to really come and show out as much as they do?
Yeah, I mean, they have to want it, right? And the guys definitely wanted it today. They played together. They had each other's back, and that's what's important. We do have to be a family, and today was an exceptional showcase of that. We have one more match this upcoming weekend on Friday against Wabash, final conference match of the season. We can definitely carry on from today onto the next week, and we should come out on top similar, hopefully. But the whole family stuff, that's what's making us show out like we did today.
Thank you so much, Coach Soto. And for the boys on the team, good luck the rest of the season, and especially to your seniors. I'm Audrey Evans, and I'm sending it back up to Forrest.
Thank you very much, Audrey. So that was head coach for the Bulldogs, Jose Soto, who he definitely helped guide his team to get the Bulldogs their win.
Definitely. He stated that, for those guys to go out there and win, they have to want it. And today, Adrian wanted it, fighting for every ball, every single one. That was the reason they were able to get so many points, just absolutely fighting constantly.
Yeah, Dion, we saw a lot of back and forth. I mean, one minute, the Bulldogs would have a 1-point lead, or it would be tied up. In the next minute, they would the Knights would reclaim the lead by 1 point, but the Bulldogs showed great awareness of when they needed to catch up, and they found that gear, and they just kept pulling away to get the victory. Especially back in the fourth set moments ago, they were aware of what they needed to do to get a couple more points, and you could hear the cheering coming from. Because we had a good audience here.
Yeah, a great showing out today. Adrian did a great job at playing their game, playing their tempo. I stated in the first set, if Adrian wanted to come out and get the win, they had to slow the tempo down, play how they wanted to play. And over time, throughout the rest of the sets, Adrian found their rhythm. It may have been a bit faster, but it was their rhythm. It put them in a comfortable position, and then that let them mount to momentum. And it was point after point after point until they got the finish.
Yeah, both teams, they refused to quit. They refused to give up. But in the end, it's the Bulldogs that reigned supreme today here at Merrill Sport and Fitness Center. It was Sam Landers.
Landers, a name that you'll hear a lot. 14 kills today from him. He was ready today. Same with Molnar, 12 kills. He did extremely well. And then Webster, the freshman, with 8 kills. Not as many as his older teammates, but just as, if not more, impactful today for the game.
Now also for the Calvin Knights, because we definitely have to give them credit too.
Yes.
So Jake Davidson had 10 kills out of the 12.5 points that he had, but it was
Godowskis with 7 kills, getting 14.5 points today.
So but yeah, the Knights they kept making the effort that they needed to, and again they just did not stop. Both teams did not stop until the very end.
Calvin really showed a heavy, hard fight until the very final whistle.
So yeah, this is gonna do it here for the Bulldogs and the Knights, as the Bulldogs win it 3-1 here at Merrill Sport and Fitness Center. Dion, it was definitely an honor calling this game with you. This is the first game that we've announced together, and hopefully we can definitely work more games in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a great night, a great time, an amazing finish for the Bulldogs, an amazing overtime win.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dion. So that will do it here at Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. From Josiah Durrell, Tate Wise, Audrey Evans, Dylan Knighton, and Dion Clark, I am Forrest Vernier from Maryland Sport and Fitness Center. As the final score in the fourth set, Bulldogs 26, Calvin Knights 24. As the Bulldogs win 3-1. For those of you watching, thank you very much for watching and listening. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And go in love and peace.